One small credit card mistake can follow you into apartments, car loans, and interest rates. He thought it was only $500, just one credit card balance, nothing serious. But months later, that small decision helped cost him the apartment he wanted. This is a realistic money mistake story about how a normal credit card decision can quietly become expensive. At first, the decision looked harmless. He had a credit card, a few bills, and a tight month. So he used the card to cover about $500 in expenses. At the time, it did not feel like a crisis. The minimum payment looked small, the balance looked manageable, and because many people use credit cards every day, he assumed it was normal. But the mistake was not only using the credit card. The real mistake was ignoring what could happen later. He focused on the easiest number to understand, the $500 balance. But he ignored the harder question: what will this cost me if I do not manage it properly? The hidden money rule. The hidden rule is this: credit cards do not only affect one bill, they can affect your credit score, your interest rates, your loan approvals, your apartment applications, and even how much deposit you may be asked to pay. When a balance stays too high, it can increase credit utilization. When payments are late, they can damage payment history, and when debt starts spreading, it can make a person look risky to lenders, landlords, and financial institutions. That is why a small credit mistake can grow beyond the original purchase. The real cost was not just the first $500. The cost showed up later. When he applied for an apartment, the landlord checked his credit. His score was weaker than expected. His credit usage looked too high, and his payment history did not look as clean as it should have. The apartment was not only about rent, it was about trust. The landlord wanted proof that he could handle payments consistently. Because of that credit mistake, he faced a harder approval process, a possible higher deposit, and fewer housing options. A small balance had turned into a bigger life problem. The safer move would have been to slow down before using the card. He should have asked, "Can I pay this off quickly? Will this raise my credit utilization too much? Can I make every payment on time? What is the full cost if interest starts building?" A beginner-friendly rule is simple. Do not treat credit like extra income. Use it only when you understand the full cost and have a clear repayment plan. Even better, keep payments on time, keep balances low, and avoid carrying debt longer than necessary. The lesson is simple. A credit card mistake may start with one purchase, but the consequences can show up in places you did not expect. Rent, car loans, interest rates, deposits, stress, and future choices. Learn from the mistake before it becomes yours. This video is for educational purposes only and is not personal financial, tax, legal, or investment advice. Subscribe for more money mistake stories that explain the expensive lessons people often learn too late.